I think there's been a lot of talk about it not being legal in some classes. Hey everyone, and welcome back to CJRaceCars YouTube channel. And today, well, right now we're in front of Creampuff, and I think that's a good way to start today's episode because today's episode is about the new truck that we're building to take over for Creampuff. As you can see, Kyle's getting Creampuff dialed in, little manicure. I wish I would have videoed this earlier because this thing literally looked like it went through a dust bowl. And that's because we drive it all over the place. He spent all day cleaning the engine bay, cleaning the truck, changing the oil, because I don't think we changed the oil, Taylor, in probably at least 500 miles.
A hot minute.
We were going to change the rear tires because they're the same rear tires from when this truck was brand new, but I think we're going to leave them on there. I don't know. I'll decide tomorrow before we go to list race. But tomorrow's a list race. This will be Creampuff's last list race, and maybe when the list race is over, we'll try to go a little bit faster. Again, everyone thinks this truck's really fast. Maybe we'll see if we can actually go 8s, deep into the 8s. I don't know. We'll see. What do you think, Taylor? Should we do it?
Send it.
Send it.
Send it.
After the list race, maybe we'll see if we can turn this thing up and go a little bit faster. It is time for Creampuff to move on to its next phase in life. And that brings us to the parts that we have for the new truck. That may get that one banned and we've had to start another new truck, which is a good excuse to build more stuff, to be honest with you, Taylor.
As long as you pay for it, I'll buy it, or I'll build
yeah,
it.
he's good at that. We'll get to that later on here, too. Taylor and his credit card issues. But, all right, let's get over there. Let's look at these new parts, and let's get them installed. Now, we're going to take the coilover off, take the spring off, put the coilover back on, and collapse it fully, and then drop it so we have like a 3/4 of an inch of shaft showing for compression, and see where that puts the wheel in a wheel well opening, because we want to get the truck really low. That's the goal. We've hacked the bed all up.
That's number one around here.
Has to be low. That's all I care about.
Yeah, if we cut that tube out, we'll have to put another one in. Because once you cut
right.
it, we'll put that same one back in.
No, you'll have to cut it, and then what you'll have to do is move the tube over this way, and then hang the tab off the side. Because you can't put it on this side and hit the knob.
Yeah, okay.
So we'd have to put it.
Deal. I just,
yeah. That's the plan.
Oh, no, it wasn't even extended all the way.
just hit it with your huh? What'd you say?
You know why? It's on them bump stops you made.
Yeah, we can get them
We're not going to throw Taylor under the bus right here.
Sounds like we are.
All right, but anyways, like I was saying before I forgot what I was saying, I was messing around here. We're not going to throw Taylor under the bus.
Hey, look.
Because here's the reality of it. Everybody starts somewhere. I can't tell you how much stuff I've messed up. But
I broke my fair share of things in my life too.
Taylor put these brackets on for the coilovers.
You keep talking
about 5 years ago, somewhere else, not here. But again, they were new brackets. They had just come out, and Taylor was, I think, just got done working on a shipyard, so this was all new to him. But he put the bump stops on backwards, so
I'm gonna back half this thing and you ain't gonna be able to use it.
the bolts don't. The bolt doesn't line up with the bump stop. It's all right though. Like I said, he was learning. He's doing good. He doesn't do that kind of stuff anymore. This whole truck actually Taylor helped build, and it's a kind of a blast to the past. Maybe we'll do a walk around of it one day, Taylor. What do you think?
Probably not.
Probably not. All right, so it's 15 15.25 now. So that's what the shock all the way compressed. The coilovers all the way compressed, 15 15.25 off the ground. So what I would do is lower it to like, let's lower it to like 15 3/4. And see what.
That's a half inch.
How do you lower it to 15 3/4?
No, yeah.
Bruh.
I had the truck like this.
Talking about me and this and.
Wow, that was instant karma for sure. All right, what is it? 15
There's a song like that.
Go 14 3/4. Yeah, that was.
Math wasn't math if you want.
Yeah, no, that was bad for sure.
Hey Kyle, let that down, bud.
Here, tell me when.
That's something I really.
Ready?
Yeah. All right.
All right, now that gives us a little bit of compression still, so we're gonna put the wheel on it, straighten the wheel out, put the front end on. My guess is it's not gonna be low enough for what we're looking for, and Danny's gonna have to cut up these A-arms, which kind of stinks, but
I'm good at demolition.
Danny loves cutting stuff up. When
I'll
you
cut stuff up and I'll
hey, if you see Danny pull out this right here,
which I always have on, which means I'm
things
always
are
using it.
getting serious.
demos, yeah.
He puts those on.
It's when the grinding shield goes on and the gloves.
Yeah, dual shield deal, and that.
We're ready to go.
He's getting serious. The respirator.
Nah, I'll put dust mask on if it's bad enough.
2 dust masks if it's really bad.
You get some new bling?
I think so. We got us some new RC components here.
RC comp? Hey man, I love RC.
I do too. You can't beat a good RC comp
Let
wheel.
me see what we got there.
All right, ready?
Yep.
Yeah, this is definitely heavy for a Pro Mod front end.
Hang on. Kyle, there's a bolt at the very bottom of that fender.
It's way too high.
It's definitely.
I can tell you before I look at it, it's too high. Not only is it too high, it's definitely sticking out too far still.
This is out. It's like turning a little bit to the left.
CJRC South Pro.
First 4-wheel drive Pro Mod out of CJRC right here for sure. Yeah, I don't know what to do. I guess.
I mean, it's flush.
Can I jack it up?
Yeah.
What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna jack it up and take all the travel out of it and see where we're at. Because if it works with all the travel out of it, we know we need to move the tab down like 3/4. That still ain't low enough. I mean, I guess that probably is pretty low, huh? Well, the issue is the in and the out though. It's too wide.
Why? You need a different offset wheel?
No, he was saying they make a shorter A-arm, but might have to get in there. Might have to cut the camera off because this is talking about stuff that's not in the budget.
know,
Just ordering extra,
know,
getting extra A-arms for the look. But it's all looks and it's safety. If we're taking it like that and that were to hit that going down the track, it could blow the tire out and that's just not safe. Right? I don't think that's safe. Does it, Taylor? And the closer to the ground you are, the better chance of being safe you have also.
It's lower center of gravity.
That's safe.
Yeah.
Safety doesn't count against the budget. We really can't go much. Honestly, you can't ride much lower than that. That thing's, if you measure to the tire and then measure the K-member, see how much room you got. I bet it's close.
4.5-ish.
Yeah, that's pretty low. So right now, the K-member, where the tire's at, is 4.5 inches off the ground. So we can't go much lower than that.
Ish.
Nope.
Well, what I was telling him, here's the thing. Look, this is what I'm thinking too. What's this say right here?
88.4.
Which way?
That's getting
Worse.
So you're cambered in at the bottom.
That went better?
You're positive camber.
But this is making that.
Yeah, pull up on the bottom and it gets level.
Okay, so what I'm saying is as you go lower, it's going to camber in, which it needs to anyways, or it needs to pull that control arm in. You know what I'm saying? It's going to.
Yeah, as you would if you were to lower the truck down, it will move the A-arms up and it will make the top go in, which will take away the it'll take away the positive camber you've got now.
Correct. So if we just moved our shock a little bit, right? We cut the tube, rolled the tab down like 3/4 of an inch,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
This tire's not going to hit because if it tried to come up this distance, it's going to pull the wheel in.
Okay.
You think, is that what you're thinking too? I don't think it would hit that. We may have to move this inner deal
I
a little
don't think
bit.
it's going to hit it because if you're bottomed out, that's a rubber bumper on there. It's not one of those thick foam bumpers. That rubber bumper is not going to compress.
Well,
much.
it can't go that much lower. Again, this is supposed to be a quicker build, and I'm not, TRZ does, I think, or can make an inch shorter A-arms, but I really would rather not order another set of A-arms when we already have
Yeah.
A-arms, you know?
Oh, we can always do this and then.
Yeah, I think what we do is we'll cut the tube out,
Okay.
put it on the jig. The tab needs to be in the same location,
Front to back.
front to back and this way. You're just gonna have to move your tube in board enough to run your tab.
So you can't roll. That if you rolled it, that would move your.
Rolled
okay.
what?
In other words, if you cut that bar out,
Yep.
and if you took another bar that
The
would fit
other
in
bar's
there,
gonna be that direction.
you would have the tab pointing in, but the bar would still be in the same same place.
No,
on the A-arm.
you can't do that. Because for one, if you did that, your knob would hit the bar. You'd have a bunch of bound
Oh, that's
up
right.
stuff.
Right. Okay.
So
I
what
get
you're going to
it.
want to do is basically if your tab was in the same place, yeah, you want your tab in the same place, inside and out, in front to back. It just needs to be lower. So you'll want to put that tube on the inside. All right, we got a table full of goodies right here from Motion Raceworks and TBM. And before we get started on what we have for the silver truck, I'm just going to say I've realized that Taylor is no better than Ricky with a credit card. So we got a bunch of stuff here. That's all stuff we needed, I would say, right?
Yeah.
It's all stuff we needed.
Gotta have it.
Great price, and it's all American-made stuff. That's what's important. You know, we got to go over the budget. At least it's all made in American stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right, show us what we got here, Taylor.
So I guess we'll start on this side. We got the Motion Raceworks parachute handle and cable kit. The Rife Sensor LS EFI naturally aspirated starter kit. We got a steam port kit, turn signal.
Gotta have turn signals in a street truck.
Gotta have it. Gotta
right?
have it. Yep.
Okay. All right.
We got steering wheel buttons. Transmission does have a line lock, or does have a trans brake, but we're not going to use it. Other button will be for line lock. We got this nice big 12.3 inch poly dash mount.
All right. So when I first saw this gigantic thing here, I thought you ordered me an aftermarket glove box door.
No.
I didn't
No.
I didn't
No.
realize that Holly Dash was that big.
No, yeah.
Can we
But
put Netflix on her?
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm hoping we can put Netflix on it, because with as much as you spent on that dash mount and that bigger screen, I'm going to have to sleep in this thing because I'm not going to be able to afford to get a hotel.
You added that to the cart.
Did I?
You did.
All right, fine. All right, fine.
The Motion quick release we've got.
Now listen. All right, let's stop on that Motion quick release. We've used a lot of different quick releases. And there's a few reasons I like that Motion quick release better than any other quick connect we've ever used. One of them being it fits amazing. Two of them, it lines up super easy. I mean, if you don't have like a mechanical engineering degree, it's hard to line some of those quick releases up.
Yeah.
And then you know what I like about it the most?
What?
Pick that thing up. Let's look at it again. You know what I like about this thing the most? All right, pull the adapter out of there. This goes on a 3/4 inch steering shaft, right? They all do. We all use 3/4 steering shaft on everything. But what I like about this one, it goes on the outside.
Ooh, yeah,
right?
That is nice.
What happens is, if you get a titanium one or chrome iron one, doesn't matter, and you have a 058 steering shaft and it goes on the inside, this thing might be machined for 049, 065,
Yeah.
some Chinese stuff that's even worse. So it going on the outside doesn't matter what wall thickness, just right on there and you weld it.
Yep.
I like that.
I like
So
it.
I had to touch on that because I really like those. We're gonna start stocking all this stuff here and selling all this stuff. So, but for now, I want to get with Motion.
We're gonna have one of these in titanium.
Not
Stock
on
that?
this thing.
No, but stock them on the shelf with titanium. Or
Absolutely.
No? Okay.
Absolutely.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it because it's basically dummy proof. You know, if you're in the car at night, it's
You
not
get right
even
on it.
it's not even going to be close any other direction.
No.
Only one way.
No. Yeah, that's a good piece right there. Out of this whole table, I like. It's all great, but I like that piece.
Yeah.
That's my
yeah.
piece.
We've got a overflow tank for the transmission.
Yep.
Overflow for the radiator because we
Yep.
don't have one of those. We've got this really nice 13-inch MPI steering wheel.
I do like the steering wheels.
We've got an engine diaper.
All right, and the engine diaper, I know it's expensive. Well, it's not expensive. They're not that expensive. But we had to get one because we went so budget on the engine, and we're going to have to wring its neck to go fast enough in this list race. We want to make sure if we scatter that thing on a racetrack, it just
Yeah.
stays in that diaper.
Yeah.
We don't want to make a mess.
Yeah. Victor doesn't like you for taking his money, but
Yeah.
he really won't like you if you
No.
sling a rod and mess
Right.
up his track.
Yeah, so this is for Victor. Victor, this is for you, bud.
And then we're going to finish it off with some TBM brakes.
TBM brakes. Can't go wrong. We got TBM brakes on everything. Again, not the cheapest brake, but the best brake in my opinion, and you got to stop. Got to be safe. Stopping is probably my biggest fear in drag racing. Not being able to stop, not ideal. So
Safety
Gotta-
doesn't go towards the budget.
that's right. Yeah, we haven't touched anything on a budget, to be honest. I mean, everything we've done is for safety.
Yeah.
So we still got like $1,200 in this truck,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're good. All right, we got our box in from Nicky Bobby here. This is our rear suspension for our S10, and I think there's been a lot of talk about it not being legal in some classes.
There's a gray area.
It's a gray area. Gray truck, gray area. Worked out pretty good.
Yeah.
But this suspension, I think it's totally legal. I think they actually did say it might be legal now. Again, we're not really running any classes that are going to dictate our rear suspension. And the leaf spring stuff works pretty good, so I don't really see a huge advantage other than it's pretty adjustable.
Yeah.
And you can buy a stock Mustang rear end and bolt it in, right?
Yeah.
Like kind of,
Yeah.
with some sphericals on the top. So, all right, without going any farther, this is Nicky Bobby's new S10 rear suspension. I don't think there's a lot of them out there yet. But if you have an S10, I would seriously consider doing one of these suspensions
Yeah,
because it's pretty cool.
100%.
Well, let's open it, Taylor. Quit talking about it.
You're the one talking.
I know. I don't know why. Let's see what we got here. All right. So this is a 4-link suspension for an S10. So it's a standard triangulated 4-link suspension like a Mustang. And we're going to weld ours in, but this thing could directly bolt in.
Yeah.
Right? It's
Yeah.
designed to bolt in, which we'll show you here in a minute. We're going to get this thing installed. But if you wanted to buy this, you could put this thing on your lift, put it on jack stands, and bolt it in your garage, probably on a weekend,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And have a Mustang rear end and right offset wheels. The next thing you know, you got a 4-link suspension with coilovers on your S10.
I think he offers the kit 100% complete. So
100%
you with a 9-inch.
That's right.
With a
I think he
9-inch
does.
and everything ready to go. So
think he
all you
does.
have to do is bolt it in, throw the rear end in, and
Yeah,
hit the track.
that's slick. That's pretty slick. I like it because it's saving us a ton of time. It's a lot less work than if we had to
Yeah.
try to fabricate all this.
Yeah.
Would probably take us 6 weeks. So this is going to probably take 6 hours instead of 6 weeks, which is
Hopefully.
extremely. I hope so too, because we got to be at this list race that we're probably going to get thrown off of now because we're showing you guys this. But that's all right. We want to be honest with you guys about what we got going on, you know. And again, this is nothing that's giving us any unfair advantage or anything else. I know somebody may complain, but it is what it is. And Nicky Bobby's been good to work with, and we definitely wanted to try out his stuff. Again, if you want to try this out, go over to Nicky Bobby's website and pick one of these things up. Most people that have an S10 that are going to do this, they're not like us and have to mess up completely everything they do and cut the bed and cut the frame and put wider wheels on than you should. We're really not right in the head for all of this. But
No.
when we start cutting up some of this stuff, just realize we're not cutting it up because these parts don't fit. We're cutting them up because
We're hard-headed and
we're hard-headed, don't know any better.
want to be difficult.
Yeah, so we've mini-tubbed the bed to put these wheels on we shouldn't put on there. Just like the same reason we messed with the control arms when we didn't really have to, because we're hard-headed. So if you see us cutting on this, it's not because Nicky Bobby's stuff didn't fit, it's because we're hard-headed.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, let's get this thing installed. All right, Taylor's been working really hard at getting our new Nicky Bobby 4-link installed, and it worked out really good.
Yeah.
Worked out really good. Got this piece in, which is for the upper control arms, and we got this piece in, which braces the upper control arms. Yep. The only difference is the lower control arm stuff goes here. Normally, it goes right underneath this frame here, but because we cut the bed up and we're moving the wheels in, right? If we run our lower control arm there, it's gonna hit the side of the tire. It's gonna be too wide.
Yeah, it won't work.
So we're gonna have to move those in, and we're still trying to come up with a plan on how we're gonna do that. So for now, we're kind of stopped because we need to put the bed up here and figure out where we can put some holes. We're gonna run some tubes down to the top of this and a few more tubes than we normally do because we're probably gonna just totally eliminate the middle of the frame, essentially.
Yeah.
We're just gonna cut it out, right?
Yeah, probably from here to about here.
Yeah. We'll just cut the
Roughly.
frame totally out. Dang, we're probably saying too much. This is it. This is done. No, we're
And
fine.
look,
This is legal. This is legal. It's just,
Come on.
the only thing we're doing is making clearance for the tire. That's it. That's all we're doing. So basically, we're at a stopping point right now. We're waiting on a rear end housing. 10 Soldiers is getting us a rear end housing. They did the same rear end housing for Creampuff, except for this rear end housing will have sphericals on the top. It won't be a leaf spring rear end housing. So again, we got the suspension installed. I I had to get the specifics. I know for a while they were saying this wasn't class legal. It was a little bit
This
gray
isn't
area.
but it's not a class.
No, I'm just saying, for people that are looking for this, I think they got over the it's illegal thing, right?
I don't understand how it would be illegal.
I don't think it's illegal.
It's a bolt-in
It's a
kit.
bolt-in kit.
We
I
just-
like it.
We just opted to weld it.
Yeah, we welded ours. And you could bolt it in. Fits great. You could bolt this thing in.
Yeah.
You can do this on a weekend by yourself if you wanted to, for sure. Just take the bed off. Obviously, it's easy to get to.
Yeah.
So, much easier than putting a torque box in a Mustang. That's terrible. Cutting all the old stuff out, man, that's
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
I think we'll have this thing done in probably a week and a half, which will give us about 2 days to test, which is normal. So we're right on track. We'll have
Yeah.
2 days to test. Hopefully nothing falls off, and go straight into the first list race, number 9.
Yeah.
And hopefully nothing goes wrong, or else I'll be off the list.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's about it. We also got our nitrous installed. Nitrous plate. Jimmy Dale hooked us up. Nitrous Express, 2-stage.
Yep.
Nitrous plate, which is more than we need. That's enough to turn our little budget engine into a bunch of pieces. So we won't need all that. Probably do 1 stage, 200 horse. That should be safe on the engine we have, and it should put us somewhere in the 9s, I'm hoping. Danny and the guys got the TBM brakes on. So TBM brakes are on. We got the steering done, which was an absolute nightmare to fit between our header. That was an absolute nightmare. We had to move the rack forward.
That made it possible. Otherwise, it was not going to go in that car.
That's right. We got a line lock mounted,
Line lock is mounted, 1 brake line is in.
and we're working on brake lines. So the truck is slowly coming together. Again, we cannot leave anything alone, unfortunately. I bought this truck because it was really nice and it was done. And now we are the total opposite direction from done. But when it's done, it'll be nice. And debating if we get this done to take it to 6 summer with Creampuff. Definitely taking Creampuff. We might take this also. We'll see. We'll see. But that's going to do it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.